Picture yourself as a chef who must disclose all the ingredients in their world-famous dish. But how on earth is that scenario related to real estate disclosures? Well, get ready to link the dots between real estate and everyday scenarios from car buying to cooking. Our crash course will transform your understanding of key concepts and make sure that you feel confident and prepared for your exam. In a few minutes, you will master all the key concepts and become a pro at tackling even the trickiest exam questions. At Real Estate License Wizard, we make learning fun and memorable with relatable examples that stick. So, grab some snacks, a pen and a piece of paper, and get ready to master the Kansas real estate exam. Real estate exam prep just got a whole lot easier and more fun.
Question number 1. Agent Rachel receives a bonus check for selling one of her clients' houses so quickly. What must Rachel do with the bonus check? Turn it down, since bonuses are illegal in Kansas. Accept the check with no strings attached. Accept the check, but put it into escrow. Give the check to her broker. What do you think? What is the answer here? And the correct answer is, give the check to her broker. According to Kansas real estate law, only brokers can directly receive fees or bonuses. After the bonus is received, then the broker can distribute the funds to the salesperson, in our case, Rachel. Think of a bonus check like a chocolate cake for a kid's party. The cake should be given to the birthday boy, aka the broker, first. And then he can decide how to distribute it to the rest of his friends, aka salespersons like Rachel. Question number 2. Under agency law in Kansas, dual agency is illegal, legal with the consent of one party, legal with the consent of the broker, or legal with the consent of all parties. Take a few seconds and think about your answer. And the answer is illegal. Did you get it right? Dual agency is illegal in Kansas. The state has what is called a transaction broker, where agents can represent neither party and can simply write up the contract and let both the buyer and the seller know what their options are, but cannot advise them. Imagine you have two friends, Alice and Bob, who are in a disagreement and need help resolving it. In Kansas, it's like having a friend who can't take sides and act as a mediator. Instead of being a dual agent and representing both friends, the mediator can only help by explaining their options and letting them make their own decisions. Question number 3. If a broker terminates the relationship with the salesperson and sends the license back to the commission, what is the status of the license? Cancelled, suspended, revoked, or redistributed? Take a few seconds and think about your answer. And the answer is cancelled. If a broker decides to terminate an affiliation with one of their salespersons, they must send the license back to the commission, and it is then cancelled. From there, the salesperson can request it to be sent to another broker. Picture a membership card to an exclusive club. If the club's management decides to terminate someone's membership, they take back the membership card and cancel it. The person can then request that their membership card be transferred to another club, but their previous membership is officially cancelled. Similarly, if a broker terminates their relationship with a salesperson, the license is sent back to the commission and cancelled, and the salesperson can request to have it transferred to a new broker. Question number 4. In terms of property management in Kansas, what is the detailed accounting of income property called? A ledger, a PME account, an escrow account, or an income statement? Well, take your time and think it through. And the answer is a ledger. Every property management will keep an official ledger for all income produced in applicable property. Imagine you have a family piggy bank that everyone contributes to. The piggy bank keeps track of all the money that goes in and out, and it's called the family ledger. Similarly, when managing income properties in Kansas, property managers keep a detailed ledger that tracks all the income generated by the property. It's like the piggy bank of the property management world. Question number 5. How many hours of continuing education are required for Kansas real estate salespersons? 8, 12, 14, or 15? Take a few seconds and think about the correct answer. And the answer is 12. All individuals who hold an active Kansas real estate license are required to complete 12 hours of commission-approved continuing education during each 2-year renewal period. Question number 6. Not a member of the Kansas Real Estate Commission, but is employed staff and in charge of keeping records. Who is that person? The keeper, the auditor, the director, or the commissioner? Think about the answer for a second. And the answer is the director. The director is in charge of keeping records. They are not members of the commission, but are employed staff. Picture the Kansas Real Estate Commission as a student council in a high school. The council members, aka commission members, make important decisions, while the class secretary, aka the director, keeps detailed records and manages the day-to-day tasks. The secretary isn't a council member, but they are a crucial part of the council team, ensuring everything runs smoothly. The secretary is like the glue that holds the council together, keeping track of everything and making sure everyone stays on track. Question number 7. In Kansas, what fiduciary duty continues to exist upon the expiration or termination of an agency agreement? Accounting, loyalty, disclosure, or confidentiality? Well, think it through and come up with your answer. And the answer is confidentiality. According to Kansas real estate law, confidentiality continues after the relationship ends, unless law specifies otherwise. Imagine you are sharing secrets with your best friend, and then you have a falling out and stop being friends. Your ex-friend still knows all your secrets and has a responsibility to keep them to themselves, even though you are no longer friends. Similarly, in Kansas real estate law, confidentiality continues to exist even after the agency agreement ends. Question number 8. If the Kansas Real Estate Recovery Revolving Fund is less than $100,000 and the Commission imposes an additional fee for licensees, what happens if any licensees do not pay the fee? The license is cancelled, their license is suspended, they will be mailed a formal warning, get 2, and their license is revoked, or they will be mailed a formal warning, get 3, and their license is revoked. Well, take a few seconds and think about your answer. And the answer is their license is suspended. Did you get it right? If the Kansas Real Estate Recovery Revolving Fund is less than $100,000 and the Commission imposes an additional fee for licensees, and any licensees do not pay the fee within 30 days, their license will be suspended. Imagine you are in a group project at school and everyone needs to contribute money for supplies. If some group members don't pay their share, they won't be allowed to continue working on the project until they do. Similarly, in Kansas real estate, if licensees don't pay an additional fee within 30 days, they won't be able to continue working until they do. Their license will be put on hold, aka suspended, until they pay the fee. Question number 9. Do patent defects have to be disclosed in Kansas? Yes, but only on commercial property. Yes, but only on residential property. Yes or no? Take a few seconds and think it through. And the answer is no. In Kansas, a patent defect is obvious and does not have to be disclosed. All hidden defects must be disclosed though. Imagine you are buying a used car. If there's a big dent on the car that's easy to see, it's like a patent defect. The seller doesn't need to specifically point it out because it's obvious. But if there's an issue with the engine that's not immediately visible, it's like a hidden defect. The seller must disclose it to you. Just like with cars, patent defects in Kansas properties don't need to be disclosed because they are already noticeable. Question number 10. How long do members of the Kansas Real Estate Commission serve? 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, or indefinitely? And the answer is 4 years. The Kansas Real Estate Commission members serve for terms of 4 years. Question number 11. Ideally, the Kansas Real Estate Recovery Revolving Fund should be at $100,000, $200,000, $250,000, or $500,000. And the answer is $100,000. The fund should be at $100,000. If it is lower, the Commission may ask for additional funds from the state's current licensees. Imagine you have a savings account that you want to maintain at a specific balance, like $100,000. If the balance falls below that amount, you might need to add more money to reach the ideal balance again. Similarly, the Kansas Real Estate Recovery Revolving Fund should be ideally at $100,000. If it drops below that amount, additional funds may be requested from current licensees to reach the ideal balance. It's like maintaining a savings account balance to ensure it stays at an ideal level. Question number 12. The limit of disbursement for the Kansas Real Estate Recovery Revolving Fund is $5,000 per transaction, $10,000 per licensee per year, $40,000 per licensee per lifetime, or $10,000 per transaction, $20,000 per licensee per year, $40,000 per licensee per lifetime, or $15,000 per transaction, $30,000 per licensee per year, and $50,000 per licensee per lifetime, or $20,000 per transaction, $40,000 per licensee per year, and $100,000 per licensee per lifetime. And the answer is $15,000 per transaction, $30,000 per licensee per year, and $50,000 per licensee per lifetime. Imagine you are at an all-you-can-eat buffet with specific serving limits. You can take $15,000 worth of food per visit, aka transaction, $30,000 worth of food per year, licensee per year, and $50,000 worth of food in total throughout your life, licensee per lifetime. Just like the buffet limits how much food you can take, the Kansas Real Estate Recovery Revolving Fund limits how much money can be disbursed in a transaction, per licensee per year and per licensee per lifetime. It's like a buffet for financial disbursement with specific serving limits to ensure fair distribution. Question number 13. In conviction of a real estate fraud issue, who is entitled to collect from the Real Estate Recovery Revolving Fund? The broker, the agent and the court cost, the broker and the licensee, or the person who lost money because of the licensee's fraudulent actions? Take a few seconds and think the scenarios through. And the answer is the person who lost money because of the licensee's fraudulent actions. The only party that collects from the fund is the person lost money because of the licensee's fraudulent actions. Imagine you are playing a game of tag and someone cheats, causing another player to lose. The player who lost gets a chance to regain what they lost. Similarly, in a real estate fraud issue, the person who lost money because of the licensee's fraudulent actions gets to collect from the Real Estate Recovery Revolving Fund, helping them recover what they lost. Just like in tag, when someone cheats and causes another player to lose, the person who lost gets a chance to make things right again. Question number 14. Any application for compensation from the Kansas Real Estate Recovery Revolving Fund must be brought within 30 days, 60 days, 1 year, or 2 years from the final determination of or expiration of appeal rights concerning any judgment. Take a few seconds and think about your own answer. And the answer is any application for compensation from the Kansas Real Estate Recovery Revolving Fund must be brought within 2 years from the date that final judgment is entered. Question number 15. How many members does the Kansas Real Estate Commission have? 4, 5, 6, or 8? Take a few seconds and think it through. And the answer is 5. Did you get it right? I hope so. The Kansas Real Estate Commission consists of 5 people appointed by the governor to serve 4 years. At least 3 members must have been licensed brokers for 5 years, and at least 1 member must be an outside party. Imagine you are playing a team sport like basketball, where the ideal team size is 5 players. Just like a basketball team needs 5 players to function efficiently, the Kansas Real Estate Commission also consists of 5 members appointed by the governor. The commission members work together to regulate and oversee the real estate industry in Kansas, ensuring fair and ethical practices. Question number 16. Jacob, a seasoned broker, wants to buy a gift card to his unlicensed friend for bringing him a client. How much can he give in terms of monetary value? Anything below $100, anything below $500, as much as he wants, or none, since it's against Kansas law. Take a short time and think about your answer. And the answer is none, since it's against Kansas law. All salespersons in Kansas are prohibited from giving anything of value to a non-licensee for bringing a broker a client. In this case, Jacob cannot give anything of monetary value. Imagine you're a teacher and one of your students brings you a gift as a token of appreciation right before the end of semester. Is he trying to get a better grade? Well, maybe. As a teacher, it's important to maintain professional boundaries and avoid accepting gifts that could be seen as a form of bribery. Similarly, in Kansas real estate, a broker like Jacob cannot give anything of monetary value to a non-licensee for bringing him a client. Just like a teacher must maintain professional ethics, brokers must also adhere to rules that prevent unfair influence in real estate transactions. Question number 17. Choose the best answer. BRRETA's main goal is to define realtors on their jobs, make the role of a licensee clear and practical, define equity transactions in an understandable manner, or address the Kansas Real Estate Commission's financial needs. And the answer is, make the role of a licensee clear and practical. I hope you found the right answer. BRRETA's main goal is to make the role of a licensee clear and practical. This act is what defines brokerage, buyers and sellers, relationships for the state of Kansas. Imagine you are a tour guide leading a group of visitors through a city. Your main goal is to provide clear and practical information about the city's attractions and landmarks. Similarly, the BRRETA's main goal is to make the role of a real estate licensee clear and practical by defining the relationship between brokers, buyers, and sellers in Kansas. Just like a tour guide helps visitors navigate a city, the BRRETA helps clarify the rules and responsibilities of real estate professionals in the state. Question number 18. If any money is paid from the Real Estate Recovery Revolving Fund, the licensee is put on the Commission's watch list, the licensee's license is terminated and cannot practice real estate ever again, the licensee's license is revoked automatically without a hearing until debt is repaid, or the licensee's license is suspended automatically without a hearing until debt is repaid. Think about your own answer and come back in a few seconds. And the answer is, the licensee's license is revoked automatically without a hearing until debt is repaid. Imagine you borrow money from a friend, but you agree that until you pay them back, you won't hang out with them. Similarly, if money is paid from the Real Estate Recovery Revolving Fund, the licensee's license is automatically revoked without a hearing until they repay the debt. It's like putting a friendship on hold until you settle your financial obligations. Question number 19. Under Kansas law, at which point is a broker allowed to put up a for sale sign on a property? Whenever, if they find a property they want to sell, with a verbal agreement or with a written agreement. And the answer is with a written agreement. Placing a sign on any property offering it for sale or lease without the written consent of the owner or the owner's authorized agent is a violation of Kansas law. It's essential agents get written permission before they put down a for sale sign. Imagine you want to borrow your friend's bike and go for a ride. Before you take their bike, you need to get their written permission, or else it would be considered stealing. Similarly, in Kansas, a broker must have written consent from the property's owner or their authorized agent before placing a for sale sign on the property. Just like borrowing a friend's bike, it's important to get permission, in this case, in writing, to avoid any misunderstandings or violations of the law. Question number 20. What is true about an associate broker in Kansas? An associate broker is the same as a salesperson. An associate broker typically makes less than other real estate agents. An associate broker has to be commissioned directly by the acting commissioner, or an associate broker may perform any real estate brokerage act that requires a license. And the correct answer is, an associate broker may perform any real estate brokerage act that requires a license. Associate brokers means an individual who has a broker's license and who is employed by another broker or is associated with another broker as an independent contractor per Kansas Commission Statutes, Rules and Regulations 58-30-35. Meaning they may perform any brokerage act that would typically require a broker's license. Imagine a family of superheroes where each member has unique powers. The associate broker is like the superhero who has all the powers of the other family members combined. Just like how the associate broker can perform any real estate brokerage act that requires a license, this superhero can use any superpower, making them a valuable asset to the team. Question number 21. Who appoints the members of the Kansas Real Estate Commission? The governor, the state senators, the state's representatives, or the National Real Estate Commission? Take a short while and think about your answer. And the answer is the governor. The governor is in charge of handling the appointment of commission members. Question number 22. Kansas law requires anyone who lists, sells, leases, or deals in real estate transactions to live in Kansas, hold an active driver's license, hold an active real estate license, or hold an active commissioner-approved dealing license. Think about your own answer. And the answer is hold an active real estate license. In Kansas, licensed activity is defined as anyone who lists, sells, leases, or deals in real estate transactions. If someone does any of those activities without a license, it is considered unlicensed activity. In order to do prior tasks, they must hold an active real estate license. A cardiologist, for example, can diagnose and treat heart conditions, right? While a neurologist can diagnose and treat brain disorders. In the same way, Kansas law requires anyone who engages in real estate transactions, such as listing, selling, leasing, or dealing in properties, to hold an active real estate license. Just like how each doctor needs a specific medical license to practice in their field, real estate professionals in Kansas must have an active real estate license to legally perform their duties. It's like having a professional seal of approval for real estate activities. Question number 23. A seller tells their agent that a murder occurred in their house 15 years ago. What disclosures must be made to a seller? It must be put in the listing contract. It must be added onto the MLS as soon as the information is given to the agent. None, since it was past 10 years. None, since death disclosure is not required in Kansas. What do you think? What is the correct answer here? And the answer is none, since death disclosure is not required in Kansas. It is not a requirement to disclose death in a home. However, the agent may want permission to disclose if a buyer asks about it. Question number 24. When is the only case a buyer can use a promissory note instead of a bank draft? If the broker agrees within the terms of the contract, if the salesperson agrees within the terms of the contract, if the buyer and the seller both agree within the terms of the contract, or never, it is forbidden. Time's up! The answer is if the buyer and the seller agree within the terms of the contract. The only case this can happen if both the buyer and the seller agree within the terms of the contract. Remember, the buyer and the seller are free to negotiate the terms of a contract. Imagine you're ordering food at a restaurant with a friend and you decide to split the bill. You both agree to pay in a specific way, like one of you using a credit card and the other using cash. Similarly, in a real estate transaction, if the buyer and seller agree within the terms of the contract to use a promissory note instead of a bank draft, that is perfectly acceptable. Question number 25. If at any time the balance of the Kansas Real Estate Recovery Revolving Fund is less than $100,000, the Commission shall assess each licensed broker a fee of $25, each licensed broker and salesperson a fee of $25, each licensed broker a fee of $10, and each licensed salesperson a fee of $5, or each licensed broker a fee of $15, and each licensed salesperson a fee of $10. Now let's see what the answer is. At any time that the balance remaining in the Real Estate Recovery Revolving Fund is less than $100,000, the Commission, without delay, shall assess each licensed broker a fee of $10 and each licensed salesperson a fee of $5 per Kansas Commission Statutes, Rules, and Regulations 58-30-66. Imagine you are at a neighborhood potluck and everyone agrees to bring a dish to share. But if the food runs out and there's less than $100,000 worth of dishes, the equivalent of the Kansas Real Estate Recovery Revolving Fund, each person must contribute an additional $10 for brokers or $5 for salespersons to ensure that there's enough for everyone. Similarly, if the Real Estate Recovery Revolving Fund balance drops below $100,000, licensed brokers and salespersons are assessed fees to maintain the balance and ensure the fund can continue to support real estate transactions in Kansas. It's like a neighborhood potluck where everyone pitches in to keep the fees going. Question number 26. Marissa, a real estate agent, posted listings on her social media from the MLS that belonged to another broker. Is what she's doing permitted? Yes, posting on social media is allowed. Yes, since MLS is public domain. Maybe if she used Instagram but not Facebook. Or no, she cannot advertise another property without the consent of the seller. Well, what do you think? What is the correct answer here? And the answer is Kansas real estate law states an agent cannot advertise a listing without permission from the owner or the owner's agent. I hope you got it right. Imagine you are a filmmaker who has spent countless hours creating a movie. You're excited to release it and share it with the world on your own terms. However, another filmmaker starts posting clips of your movie on social media without your permission. It's not fair for someone else to use your creative work without your consent. Similarly, in real estate, Marissa cannot advertise listings that belong to another broker without the consent of the seller. Question number 27. How often is continuing education required for Kansas real estate licensees? Every year, every 2 years, every 3 years, or every 4 years? All right, let's see the answer. And the answer is every 2 years. All individuals who hold an active Kansas real estate license are required to complete 12 hours of commission-approved continuing education during each 2-year renewal period. Question number 28. Kansas real estate agents must follow national laws, Kansas state laws, Kansas state and national laws, only local laws that directly apply to them. And the correct answer is Kansas state and national laws. All real estate agents must follow not only the state laws that apply to them, but the national ones as well. Question number 29. Do hidden defects have to be disclosed in Kansas? Yes, but only on commercial property. Yes, but only on residential property. Yes or no? And the answer is yes. In Kansas, a patent defect is obvious and does not have to be disclosed. All hidden defects, however, must be disclosed. Imagine you're buying a used car and the seller tells you about a scratch on the bumper, which is a patent defect, so you can see it. However, they don't mention that the engine has a hidden problem. In Kansas, just like when buying a car, sellers of real estate must disclose all hidden defects. A hidden defect is something that's not obvious, like a problem with the plumbing or foundation. It's important for buyers to know about these issues before making a purchase. Question number 30. Which would be a clear violation of Kansas license law? Transaction broker, offering real estate as price in a game of chance, selling real estate to people who are not from Kansas, or selling real estate to another county within Kansas aside from your own. Take a few seconds and think about your own answer. And the answer is offering real estate as price in a game of chance. Under Kansas license law, offering real estate or improvements as prices in games of chance is a violation of license law. Imagine you're at a carnival and the game operator offers you a chance to win a house if you can knock down all the bottles with a ball. It sounds exciting, right? But this scenario would be a clear violation of Kansas license law, as offering real estate as a prize in a game of chance is not allowed. Just like how winning a house at a carnival game might seem too good to be true, the law is in place to protect buyers and sellers and ensure ethical practices in real estate transactions. So it's best to stick to winning plush toys and candy at carnival games instead.
Congratulations on acing this wild ride through the Kansas real estate exam prep. Now that you have tackled 30 questions and uncovered the secrets to each answer, you may want to test your newfound knowledge on realestatelicencewizard.com. Or you may want to stick around and check out our real estate practice exam and real estate exam crash course videos here on YouTube. Those will definitely supercharge your confidence. This video was just the beginning. Now let's turn your new strong foundation into a skyscraper of exam success.